Hello guys, welcome back to the Brutal Investor channel. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. In this episode, we're going to discuss about a new listing that Binance posted today morning for the token BIFI or Beefy.Finance token. So the announcement reads as follows, right? Binance will list Beefy.Finance, BIFI, in the innovation zone. Binance will list Beefy.Finance and will open trading for Beefy BNB and Beefy BUSD trading pairs. Users can now start depositing Beefy in preparation for trading, right? So if you guys know, Binance Smart Chain is a rapid and fast growing ecosystem, and many of the projects on Binance Smart Chain are basically clones or copies of successful Ethereum based projects. Let's say, for example, PancakeSwap is basically a copy of Uniswap, and if you see AutoFarm is basically like Aave slash multiple other projects, and if you see Venus is a mixture of Compound Finance and MakerDAO, but if you see Beefy or Beefy.Finance is basically a clone of Yearn.Finance, right? Yearn.Finance, if you guys don't know, I covered a video about it a few months back, and that project has incredible potential. And again, this project being the Yearn.Finance of Binance Smart Chain, I believe that this project also has incredibly high potential in the future, right? So what is Beefy.Finance? Beefy.Finance is a yield farming optimizer on Binance Smart Chain. Beefy is the native governance token of the platform and is used for governance to create proposals and votes, as well as staking to earn rewards in Beefy, right? So again, they don't call it as a yield aggregator, which is basically what Yearn.Finance is, but Beefy.Finance is basically a yield farming optimizer, and obviously it's built on the Binance Smart Chain. Its native governance token is BIFI or Beefy, similar to YFI on Yearn.Finance, and it's basically a governance token that can be used to vote on the future of the platform, and you can also stake Beefy tokens in order to earn rewards, right? So again, basically they cover the risks of participating in the innovation zone, and from today onwards you can start transferring your Beefy tokens. So as usual, let's look at the Binance research page for Beefy.Finance. Basically, the main highlight of this project is a yield farming optimizer on Binance Smart Chain. That's pretty much the main highlight of this project. If you have certain tokens on Binance Smart Chain, you can use Beefy.Finance in order to optimize your yields, right? And you'll also be able to earn rewards in Beefy tokens and be able to participate in the governance by holding their native Beefy token, right? So if you look at the information here, Beefy.Finance is a yield farming optimizer on Binance Smart Chain, which automates investment strategies utilizing liquidity pools, right? So if you guys haven't used Yearn.Finance or Beefy.Finance, the main focus of this project is to ensure that if you deposit a token, let's say for example cake, right, on Beefy.Finance, it ensures that you earn the highest yield possible by optimizing yield for the token, and it does it automatically based on smart contracts, right? And it also uses the best investment strategies to utilize the best liquidity pools of any given DEX or any given platform, right? The platform helps investors to interact with various yield farming opportunities without having to constantly review and manually execute their investment strategy, right? So before Yearn.Finance came to the picture, if you were to participate on any Ethereum based project, you would have to, let's say, hold Ether, provide liquidity for that, for Ether as well as a native token for a DeFi project, and take the LP tokens, move it to one staking pool, and the staking pool, although initially it may provide a very high APY, it doesn't really last for more than a month or two, right? So once that is done, you take your LP tokens. Regarding these fees, you'll be paying a very high fees, because every time you stake or withdraw, you'll be paying very high gas fees, okay? But going back to the issue here, basically, you'd be removing your liquidity pool tokens, staking it in a different contract, trying to earn yield. Again, after a few months, you withdraw it, try to find a better opportunity to stake your tokens, and then do this again and again. But if you see here, you are doing several manual steps with very high gas fees, right, in between for staking and unstaking, that you are basically losing a lot of money. If the Ethereum network clogs up, you're basically losing a lot of money, right? But if you use Yearn.Finance, right, you basically buy, you have a lot of options where you can deposit your tokens, the respective tokens, and Yearn.Finance basically does all the work for you by constantly optimizing yield and giving you the best rates possible on the Ethereum network, right? Since Beefy.Finance is practically based on Yearn.Finance, it does the exact same thing in Binance Smart Chain, right? So that's pretty straightforward, right? And it's a very good investment strategy, and it will give you the best possible yields with little to no work from your side, right? All you have to do is just deposit your tokens in Beefy.Finance, and the smart contract will do the rest for you, right? The platform is constantly exploring new methods to optimize strategies to secure the largest yields available. Again, pretty self-explanatory. Again, basically what I said is discussed in this point. You will try to, if you're doing it manually, you'll be trying to find the best yield and trying to make the best bang out of your buck. But when it comes to Beefy.Finance, it does it automatically, right? Beefy is a BEP20 native governance token of the platform and has the following use cases, right? Governance: by holding Beefy either staked in the governance pool or Beefy Maxi Vault, users have the right to create proposals and votes. Users do not need to unstake their tokens to participate in the voting process. So by participating by having Beefy tokens, you are participating in the governance proposals. You can either stake your Beefy tokens in the governance pool, or you can stake it in the Beefy Maxi Vault, which we'll cover in a few seconds. You can participate in the votes and try to develop the project, right? You don't need to unstake your tokens in order to participate. You can do it as your stake tokens are earning passive income. So that's a pretty good feature, right? Staking: a portion of the fees paid by Beefy.Finance yield farming vault users is distributed to Beefy token holders staked in the governance pool and the Beefy Maxi Vault. Rewards are paid out in wrapped BNB and Beefy respectively. So basically, when you stake your Beefy tokens in the governance pool or in the Beefy Max Vault, you are paid out while simultaneously being able to participate in the governance proposals, and you'll be paid out in wrapped BNB or Beefy tokens, right? And this is based on which pool you participate, and you'll pretty much get either wrapped BNB or Beefy, right? The protocol consists of the following major components. Vaults. Vaults are investment instruments that employ a specific set of strategies for yield farming. They automatically invest and reinvest deposited funds, which help in achieving high levels of compounded interest, right? So again, if you haven't already used Beefy.Finance's vault, I highly recommend you guys to use it. It's one of the best systems available in Binance Smart Chain. It automatically tries to maximize your yield, and on top of that, what it also does is it auto compounds your earnings, right? So if you deposit 1,000 cake tokens, for example, the APY is insanely high. It's pretty much like 228% or 250% or something in that range, right? It fluctuates, but it's pretty high, right? And when you deposit your cake tokens on the cake vault in Beefy or Beefy.Finance, you pretty much have to set it and forget it, and your cake tokens will automatically start compounding itself. And again, in the long run, I do believe that the Binance Smart Chain ecosystem will continue to survive not only survive, it will continue to thrive, and it will also be highly interoperable and very advanced. Also thanks to the Binance marketing and Binance support that the Binance Smart Chain gets overall, Binance Smart Chain will continue to exist for several years, right? Till the end of time. And as long as there are new projects migrating from Ethereum or new projects developing from scratch on Binance Smart Chain, which I do anticipate many projects will do, you will have users flocking into the Beefy.Finance ecosystem, because after a point, even veteran DeFi participants kind of become fatigued, because you have one protocol and like releasing today, and you want to participate in that protocol in order to gain a high yield for a particular token, and there's another protocol that develops the very next day, which is released and available for use, which has a higher yield. So you constantly have to search for high yields and chase yields in this ecosystem, right? So veteran DeFi users, what they do is, after a point, they'll kind of like be like, man, this is definitely taking too much of my time and my resource. I'm gonna just find a platform that will auto invest and auto compound for me, right? And they will flock into Beefy.Finance, because Beefy.Finance's smart contracts do everything for them, right? And this is going to be huge, right? In my personal opinion. Vault strategies are modular smart contracts that tell the vaults what assets to farm and where to sell the farmed assets. Rewards are regularly harvested, swapped for the original vault asset, and deposited again for compound financing, right? So there are several strategies that Beefy.Finance incorporates. So basically, there are things called modular smart contracts that help in optimizing the best yield, and it also ensures that if it participates in several high yield APY with your tokens, the smart contract automatically swaps for the original asset and auto compounds, thereby increasing the yield, and does this so efficiently and so many times that your yield is always guaranteed to be maximum, right? Barn of Trust provides users the opportunity to earn rewards in several dApp projects by staking Trust Wallet token or TWT or Beefy in the vaults, right? So this is something which is kind of like a slightly different and unique version of Beefy. If you take any Binance Smart Chain project, right, it's mostly like a clone or a copy of an Ethereum-based project, but it adds some little tweaks to it to make it a little bit unique, which is pretty common and which is pretty welcoming, because there are a lot of big projects on Ethereum that, although they are legacy projects, they don't really they're not really modern, in the sense where they have some flaws which another project can simply copy and add fixes to the flaws, thereby making it a slightly better project, right? I believe that Binance Smart Chain contains several projects which are designed to be better than Ethereum, although they don't really try to hide the fact that they are clones of Ethereum in the first place, right? So when it comes to Barn of Trust, this is something like a unique property of Beefy.Finance, where people can earn rewards in several of their dApps, which we'll see in a few moments, by staking Trust Wallet token or Beefy tokens in the vaults, right? Although this is not really as popular as the vaults themselves, it is still a good addition to have, so that if people want to use these features, it's available to them, right? Please click here for more details on the token distribution. Again, you can click on the link in order to understand the token distribution. As of March 16th, which is today, the total supply of Beefy is 80,000, and the current circulating supply is 95%. So again, like if you take a token with a max supply of 80,000, combined with the fact that about 95% of the max supply is already in circulation, you are basically getting a product which is definitely go up in value, right? Again, obviously based on the demand of the market. If people don't really care to hold this token, or they don't really bother to buy this token, then even if the supply is very, like, even lower than 80,000 tokens, or maximum supply is lower than 80,000 tokens, and the circulating supply is higher than 95%, nobody is going to worry about it, because the price is not going to go anywhere, because there's no demand for it, right? But if you look at Beefy.Finance, I can definitely sense that people are going to use this project in order to optimize their yields. As I mentioned, there are going to be newbies who is going to come to Binance Smart Chain and be like, there's so many projects out here, I don't really know where to put my money in. And this project aims to aggregate or make it more optimum for earning the highest yield. So I'm going to put my money or cake tokens or BNB tokens or BTC, B or Ethereum or whatever tokens in Beefy.Finance and allow the autopilot to take over, right? That's how people are going to think. Not only the newbies, but also people who have been in DeFi for several years, right? They are going to reach a fatigue stage, which will definitely prevent them from actively seeking yields or actively chasing yields, where they will probably come to a conclusion where this system does it for us, so why should we do this manually? And therefore they'll start buying Beefy tokens, and due to the very limited supply and high the 95% of the circulation supply is already in 95% of the maximum supply is already in circulation. They're going to literally pile up on this token, right? So that's going to send the price of this token way higher than its current price right now. So if you want to go through their website and see how it looks, or want to see their walls, you can go to Beefy.Finance, which is their website, and you can clearly see what they're doing and how they're trying to present themselves in the light of high Ethereum gas fees, so that they can entice people, right? So if you go to their website, they're basically stating yield farming optimizer for Binance Smart Chain. Although I do like several Binance Smart Chain based projects, I don't really know the weird choice of names. I don't really know why they chose some food or like some kind of like a childish name instead of like an actual serious name. Because if you take Ethereum, like Uniswap and Yearn.Finance, Curve, Compound, all these things sound more professional, but the names for Binance Smart Chain projects seems really childish. But it still hasn't prevented Binance Smart Chain from becoming more successful, right? So if you go to Beefy.Finance and click the launch app, you'll be taken to app.beefy.finance, which is where most of the action happens, right? So if you scroll below, you can clearly see that the total value locked is $328.48 million, which is significantly lower than several big projects, not only in Binance Smart Chain, but also in the Ethereum network itself, right? So this shows that Beefy.Finance is highly undervalued, and there's basically a 0.05% to 0.1% withdrawal or deposit fees on all wallets. This is pretty much the case for Yearn.Finance as well, and this kind of prevents people from constantly trying to remove and add tokens in and out of the system, right? And also since the Binance Smart Chain fees are relatively low, these kind of fees don't really hurt like a consumer as like how it affects people who use Ethereum ecosystem, right? And if you see right off the bat, you can clearly see that you can use liquidity provider tokens. So if you provide liquidity for SOUP, BNB, LP, right? If you hold those LP tokens, you can earn 204.71 billion%. Again, the B is billion, right? So this is after all the auto compounding, and you can earn 6.05% per day. Again, almost all the banks in the world, they give no more than 0.5% or 0.1% per year, and in this project you can earn 6.05% every single day, and it auto compounds itself, and it pretty much does everything by itself. All you need to do is just lock your SOUP, BNB, LP tokens in Beefy, right? And if you scroll below, you can clearly see some ridiculous APYs like 650.18 million, 11.67 million, 7.29 million. It's pretty much in the millions for most of the LP tokens, right? Again, bear in mind that when you provide liquidity, you are going to face impermanent loss depending on whether either one of your assets or both your assets are volatile. So regardless of what you think about these kind of high APYs, you have to bear in mind that impermanent loss is a real deal, and that can definitely eat away your profit. And if there is a violent swing in one or both of the tokens that you provide liquidity on, that will definitely affect your yield, right? So just bear that in mind. If you ask my opinion, I would personally not worry about providing liquidity for stable coin pairs, because if you take USDC and USDT, the impermanent loss is very little to non-existent, right? But when you take, like, for example, belt BNB liquidity pool, you are basically working with two volatile assets, and sometimes depending on the price action, one token may outperform way better than the other token, which will cause severe impermanent loss, right? So please bear that in mind. I would personally recommend just using a single token for providing liquidity, and as we scroll below, you'll be able to see some single tokens which you can use to provide liquidity to avoid severe impermanent loss, right? So if you scroll below, there's several LP tokens. Let's say, for example, if you take Banana, for example, it's a single token. If you provide, if you stake Banana tokens in Beefy.Finance, you'll get 4.40 thousand. I mean, 4.40,000% APY, which you can earn. But at the same time, if you see the Banana token may not be as reputed or may not even be properly audited, right? So there are other risks involved when it comes to staking tokens that don't really have that much of a lifetime. So bear that in mind as well, right? Certain deposits are paused, which means you can't deposit for certain LP or certain pools. So that's something that you should also bear in mind. But they have a very wide list. Pretty much almost all the Binance Smart Chain based projects have been like featured on Beefy.Finance. And if you take Kebab, which is also a project that I covered recently, if you have Kebab token alone that you want to stake in Beefy.Finance, you will be able to earn 797.15% APY, right? So again, like, the yield is not as impressive as the billions or million% APY that you get from several other projects that we saw above, but it's still a better better option compared to the LP token that you may potentially like suffer impermanent loss from, right? So if you scroll below, again, you can clearly see several projects. Many of them are relatively new. This is one of the most popular staking options, which is Cake token. So if you have Cake, which is one of the most valuable tokens, I've also covered that in a video recently. It has very high potential to grow, and I believe that several other blockchains will have their own bridging of Cake, and Cake will continue to exist in several different cross chains, right? So if you have Cake tokens, you can earn 319.85% APY, right? Recently, Cake token has kind of like slugged down, as like every other cryptocurrency in the crypto market after Bitcoin's retracement. But this would be a good opportunity for people to buy some cheap Cake tokens and auto compound them in Beefy.Finance and earn 319.85% APY auto compounding, right? It's basically in autopilot mode. So there's several options. Even for Cake, you have multiple different options. I don't know why anybody would use 253% when there's obviously a higher APY in the top, but there are multiple different repetitive options, which is a little weird. If you have Bake tokens, you can earn 196%. You can earn also earn on Bitcoin, which is basically Binance version of Bitcoin, which is BTCB. Their wrapped Bitcoin. You can also earn from wrapped Ethereum on the Binance Smart Chain. If you scroll below, you can earn from USDC. Although some of the USDC slots have been deposits have been paused. If you have wrapped BNB, then if you see the more valuable tokens, like some of the high market cap tokens, you can see that the APY is not as impressive, right? That kind of shows that these tokens are much more valuable, and it's very hard to get a high yield from them, right? And if you see, just want to show you, you have SXP, which is also a very good project. If you scroll below, you can get, if you have XRP, while all the FUD is going on, if you feel like you bought XRP and you don't really know what to do with it, you can use your XRP in the Binance Smart Chain and earn 19.77%, while the FUD is, wait for the FUD to clear away, right? Again, there's several, again, if you have Beacon ETH or BETH, you can earn 15.45%, right? You can stake it in the Binance Smart Chain. If you have Litecoin, which is pretty incredible, like Binance Smart Chain has brought Litecoin into the DeFi ecosystem, you can earn 10.79%, right? If you see BTCB, you can earn 9.92%. It is pretty much the highest highest when it comes to providing yield, right? And you can never earn 9.92% on Bitcoin in any centralized platform that I'm aware of. If you guys know a platform that yields higher APYs than BIFI.Finance for Bitcoin, let me know in the comment section below. If you have Beefy token itself, this is where Beefy Maxi comes into play. If you stake it here, you earn Beefy tokens, and you can earn it at 8.96% APY, and you can also participate in the governance, right? If you participate in Ethereum, if you stake Ethereum, you can earn 18.67% on Ethereum. The irony is you can use Ethereum in a faster and cheaper way on Binance Smart Chain rather than on Ethereum network itself, right? And currently they have a boost program where the original APY of 8.13% has been bumped to 18.61%. Although this won't last really long, if you guys have some spare Ethereum that you want to lock in and earn some high yield, then this is the place for you, right? For all the Cardano fans who like holding Cardano for long term and who have been holding Cardano and are worried about the staking rewards in the Cardano platform, you can earn 7.94% for Cardano. And with the new recent Coinbase listing underway, you can earn not only 7.94% APY per annum on Binance Smart Chain for Cardano, you can also see your price, the Cardano price increasing, which also gives you capital gains, right? Which is also pretty cool. Again, you also have stable coins. You can also earn on DOT and Link, although the APYs are pretty lackluster for Link and DOT, right? That's pretty much the website. If you want to look at the barn feature, which I'll show you guys here, if you click the barn option, you can see you have to connect your wallet, obviously, which I can't do because I'm on my phone. But if you go to barn, you can pretty much deposit your if you deposit your tokens in Beefy.Finance, you will earn Moo tokens, right? Moo version of tokens. It's basically like the LP tokens, like that shows that you actually deposited in Beefy.Finance. And if you deposit your Moo tokens, let's say if you deposit Ethereum, you get Moo Ethereum, and those Moo Ethereum can be staked in the barn protocol, okay? And you can earn other tokens in addition to your reward that you're already earning on Beefy.Finance, right? So that's pretty cool. If you click the boost option, you can stake Beefy to earn BNB, okay, wrapped BNB. If you stake Moo Venus ETH, you can earn Ape tokens. If you stake Moo Belt Venus BLP, which is basically liquidity pool tokens, you can earn Slime. If you had Moo Venus ETH, you'll be able to earn Brew, right? And these are all projects that have already been completed. So that's pretty cool, right? So that's pretty much the case. If you go to the CoinGecko page for Beefy.Finance, you can clearly see that the token is 178th ranked token by market cap on CoinGecko, and it's currently trading at $3,234 as of the time of making this video, and it recently had a 157% increase in the past 24 hours, obviously thanks to the Binance listing, right? If you look at the market cap, it's $245 million in market cap. If you have to compare the market cap of this one, you obviously have to compare it with the original project from which this project was cloned from, which is Yearn.Finance, and you compare the market cap for Yearn.Finance, and if you compare the market cap of Beefy.Finance, you can clearly see that there's a huge gap, okay, which indicates to me that Beefy.Finance is just getting started, right? And for a project which optimizes and increases the yield in an auto compounding way, this project is relatively undervalued, right? Although there may be people who may disagree with me, there is a very high chance that Beefy.Finance may potentially reach $10,000 to $15,000 per token by the end of this bull run, right? If you see the circulating supply, which is probably one of my favorites features of Beefy.Finance, is the circulating supply being 95% of the max supply, and the max supply itself showing as 80,000 tokens that will ever exist, right? Which is pretty cool. So again, there is no chance of inflation. There is not a lot of tokens left for people to hodl. You can earn a high yield on Beefy.Finance by staking Beefy itself, and you can pretty much see this project becoming bigger and getting more adoption as Binance Smart Chain grows to be a bigger ecosystem, right? Which it definitely is, and I believe that by the end of this year, you can see Binance Smart Chain being one of the most premium places for institutions to kind of like take notice of, right? Which is definitely going to happen in my personal opinion. If you take the charts, you can clearly see that we have the data from October 7, 2020, and the price of one token was $12.28. It's pretty much been like that for ages, and it's only recently on January 2021 you can see the price of this token kind of skyrocketing, and it had a very big pullback where it reached an relative lows of $904 per token, and since like 13th of March, the token has literally gone parabolic, right? This token, not only because of its strong tokenomics and very limited supply, its use case is immense, right? If you see, there are projects that, let's say for example, if you take a decentralized exchange, for example, no matter how decentralized or how much features you add to a decentralized exchange, it's still an exchange, right? And you guys know that there can only be so many exchanges that will succeed. That's one of the reasons why even if you try to innovate in the decentralized exchange field, people don't really feel like it's a good option to leave Uniswap or PancakeSwap or some of these top tier exchanges, right? Because there's no more innovations that can happen in these kind of exchanges. But if you see Beefy.Finance, like this is a yield aggregator, and as more and more projects launch on the Binance Smart Chain, Beefy.Finance is going to add new and new slots, which is going to optimize yield. So this is like a one-stop shop where the competition for Beefy.Finance is very minimal in the Binance Smart Chain, and as Binance Smart Chain keeps growing, more and more people would want to come to one particular focal point to earn the highest yields, and Beefy.Finance offers them that, right? So in my personal opinion, if you were to want to buy this token, I would probably wait for a pullback, because as like any Binance listings, you can expect a pullback pretty soon for any newly listed tokens, right? Including this token. I believe that this token can retrace up to $2,500 per token, which does not mean that you have to buy one full token. You can also buy a partial token and stake it on Beefy.Finance and set it and forget it, and it will auto compound, and maybe leave it for a long term if you are comfortable with leaving your token staked in the smart contract for several years. Then I suggest set it and forget it and don't look at it. If you come back after a few years and look at it, then you will probably find not only your price appreciation, but also you will earn a very solid compound interesting income, right? Which will be a passive income, right? If you look at the Bitcoin comparative, again, similar kind of pattern as like the dollar comparative. And if you see, the Bitcoin comparative has literally skyrocketed, and one token being 5.5 million satoshis, right? Again, that shows that a project's tokenomics can definitely do wonders to the price, even though other factors may or may not change, right? So again, if you want to buy it either with dollars or Bitcoin satoshis, you probably want to wait, because immediately after the Binance listing, all projects tend to cool down, and this project will cool down. And if you want to buy it, obviously after doing your own research, because none of the things that I say in this video is financial advice, and please don't consider me as a financial advisor, right? But if you do your own research and if you're happy with investing a little bit of your cash or satoshis into Beefy tokens, then I suggest you wait, because there is a chance that this will retrace and reach even potentially $2,500 per token, right? Which would be a really good entry point for this token. So let's look at the markets. Obviously, it's available on Binance as of today. You can buy it from Binance using BUSD and BNB. You can also get it from Joule Swap. You can also get it from Bakery Swap and Pancake Swap, respectively, right? And you can pretty much see that all of these exchanges or decentralized exchanges are pretty much aligned with Binance and Binance Smart Chain ecosystem, and you don't really see any traction outside of the Binance Smart Chain ecosystem, right? Which itself is indicative that this project is not really welcomed, because most people associated this project with the as a copy of Yearn.Finance. But people who hate this project will definitely like it in the future, because as I said, there will be a point where people start accepting Binance Smart Chain as a viable alternative to Ethereum, and these people will start investing in projects on Binance Smart Chain, and that will drive tokens like Beefy to incredible all-time highs. And I strongly believe that by the end of this bull run, we will definitely have one Beefy equaling $10,000 to $15,000 range, right? Again, that's just my opinion. Remember, guys, you guys are not regular investors, you guys are brutal investors, so stay brutal. Thank you very much for watching my video, guys. If you like my video, please click the like button and subscribe for more videos. See you in my next video.